Oh hi, cockatiels, and welcome to Coffee Chat.
Time to kick it old school.
It's been a while since I've posted a video, and I'm sorry about that. I spent about 9 days in Seattle on a job, and then I had a lot of catching up to do, and now we're here. Speaking of that job, what I wanted to talk about today is a follow-up on a video I made just about a year ago called Thoughts on Going Freelance, and I'll link it in the description below or on the eyeball, which I think is gonna be over here. So this is Thoughts on Going Freelance Part 2. I have been freelance for one whole year, how many days? 365 days. I worked full-time as a motion graphics designer and animator at an advertising agency that did work for TV and movies. I put in my 2 weeks and I left that job on September 11th, 2015, and now it is September 26th, 2016. Dates. I reviewed the video I made a year ago to see if there were like similarities between last year and now I'm feeling now, and yes, almost everything that I said in that video, same problems now. My sleeping patterns are still unusual. Oftentimes there's a day a week that I don't sleep at all. I have to pull an all-nighter. I'm working on it. I don't want to be that way, but kind of that's how I am. Time management is difficult because I don't have anyone on top of me. What? I don't have anyone but myself holding me accountable for what time I'm dedicating to what. So will I spend an entire day reading Inuyasha manga? Yeah. Also, I'm still dirty all the time. I still don't take showers very frequently. Even though I live with my boyfriend now, I still am gross all the time. A couple things I want to reflect on and some things I want to add. Do I regret quitting my job? Because a lot of people fear that if they quit their job and try something new, take a risk, they're going to lose the stability that they once had. And no, I don't regret it in the slightest. I actually wish, hey look, burn on my head, same as last video. I wish I had left it 6 months earlier. I wanted to leave it 6 months earlier, but I reached out to a couple people from my college to ask for guidance and to ask for, I guess, support, and I got a really negative reaction. And I've talked a little bit about how my college experience wasn't very good, and I will make a video about that. Like, should you go to art school? Should you not? My experience with it. Spoiler alert, wasn't the best! I'm still kind of dealing with some fallout from how hurt college made me. And so having alumni basically tell me that I was unprofessional for reaching out the way that I did, it was hard for me to take the plunge. But having taken the plunge, I'm very happy that I did. I'm happy that I overcame those insecurities. But back to the idea of stability. The stability that job afforded me was not worth what I lost being at that job. I understand, I'm very privileged that I am able to do this on my own, that I don't need to work at a company. A lot of people are on career paths where you have to work in office. But what I found was that working every day in the same place was stifling for me. It was like being in a cage. It didn't allow me to stretch my wings. I didn't have time to take on jobs that I really wanted to try out and take on. And as much as I tried to help the department that I was working in move towards the kinds of work that I wanted to be doing. Okay. Shush. I put forth a lot of effort to try to change that department, and it didn't pan out. And so when you can't make a difference, the only difference you can make is to leave. That was a job with a paycheck, and a paycheck that I could reliably count on coming to me every 2 weeks. So in that way I could plan my life around the amount of money that I was making and be able to tell my landlord, yes, I will be able to pay rent and get a car, and say like, yes, I will be able to make car payments and insurance payments, and all of that is budgeted because I know what's coming. When you're freelance, you don't know what's coming. And a lot of freelancers told me that when I was starting to take the plunge, like, be prepared to have months where you make a lot of money and then months where nothing comes in. But I haven't gone through a dry spell yet. As a matter of fact, I am making a lot more money and I have a lot more stability now than I did when I was full-time. And so the idea of having a stable position and losing that stable position when you go freelance, that idea is nonsense to me. So no regrets leaving, even a year out. Okay, so some new thoughts that I've picked up on freelancing. One of the most important things that I've picked up in the last year is this idea that we all, as artists, need to support each other. Support your fellow artists. A lot of people view their career as a rat race, where you have to get ahead and you have to gouge out the eyeballs of the people around you in order to keep them below you and you to rise up higher, but that is so broken. That is such a broken way to look at any aspect of your life, not only your career, but your personal relationships as well. You'll find as you grow older that you don't get anywhere without the help and support of other people. And so that applies directly to artist communities. When I say support fellow artists in your community, I'm talking about like, sometimes you'll get emails from agencies that say like, hey, we want to hire you for the next 2 weeks to work on this movie trailer thing. And sometimes I can't. Sometimes I have to say no. Oh, that's not what I say. That would be exceptionally rude. I can recommend Kate and Tony, and then I'll give Kate and Tony's websites and emails for that client to contact with this same job. So many jobs, like the one that I just went to Seattle for, I got because another designer recommended me in their stead. When you recommend one another, you create a community that is so much better than the rat race that I described. You create a community of people who are interested in each other's work, of people who want each other to succeed, of people who benefit from the other's success. Pay it forward, man. Like, instead of just saying no, say no and then give a solution to the problem. If the problem is that we can't find a designer, here are 2 designers that I know will be able to do that job. I love that part of freelancing, because there's not a ton of us who do what we do, but when we find each other, we help each other be better in whatever way that we can, and that's just the best. Another thing, if you can afford it, if you don't have to say yes to every job that comes to your door because you need a certain amount of money or a certain amount of exposure or portfolio work, what have you, stuttering, too much coffee, take on the work that you want to do. This might sound selfish, and some clients might think this is selfish, but it makes sense to me that if you are somebody who chooses work that you're excited about, you're gonna put more into that work. More effort, more time, more artistry. If you're excited about the stuff that you're doing, you're gonna do it better. Done. And there's always another designer who is gonna be more jazzed to do the job that you don't wanna do. There are people out there who live for slow-mo video of sprinkles being dropped on donuts. That is a blast to them. Not a blast to me. Certainly not the worst job I've ever done. Worst job I've ever done, I don't want to talk about. Maybe I'll make a Beth time story on the worst client I've ever had. Oh, but it gives me like the willies to think about it, because it was not, it was bad. It was bad, you know. But yeah, then like if a YouTuber contacts me and is like, hey, I want to do an animated bumper for my 12-episode miniseries that I'm putting on YouTube, I can say yes, because that's what yes, that's really fun. I want to do that. I want to feel that way about every job that I do. And I want you to feel that way about every job that you do. That's the dream. Finally, last thing that I've observed about being a freelancer over the last year. Never stop making things for yourself. It's so tempting to stack your schedule with client work, with work that pays. However, it is invaluable that you're doing work for yourself, because the work that you're making that you're passionate about, you're more likely to share. And then people will see that work and they'll go, oh man, I bet that would be a great fit for, I don't know, this magazine cover or this HBO animation. You name it. And so then someone will contact you and say, hey, we want something in that style, with that look. And then you get to do more. And that's the dream. So much of this stuff is the dream. Beth Be Rad is something that I do for myself. But doing Beth Be Rad got me the opportunity to work with Snarled. And now that's something that's like super fun to do, because it came from something that I was doing just for fun in and of itself. So never stop doing work for yourself, because not only is it emotionally fulfilling, but it's also gonna help you in your professional life. What are some other things? Work with your friends, help your friends succeed, be nice to each other. Oh, when you're freelancing, you should try to be 3 things. This is all you gotta be: quick, good, and nice. Most people are only 2 of those things. They'll be quick and good, but like an ass to work with. They'll be nice and quick, but their work isn't really excellent. Or they'll be nice and good, and it takes them a whole day to put together one simple thing. So aim to be all 3 of those things. It's possible. I know people like that. I'm trying to be like that. And what's next? What's next for freelance life, Beth? I am going to be opening up a shop. Yeah! So you can buy prints. I'm gonna try to make enamel pins, stickers, a whole slew of different things that I want to sell on my own online shop. It's not set up yet, and it might be a couple months before I get it up and running. But I'm excited, because that's something I've never done before. I don't come from a business background or a family who's ever run a business. So this is all new to me, and I'm learning as I go and making mistakes. There's a whole video coming on failures and mistakes, because we gotta talk about how we all make them. But that's it for today. I've already talked your ear off about all of this stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me any questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get to them. Thanks for sitting and having a drink with me, and coffee bean yourself.
Bye.
Stuttering. Too much coffee.